Alright, I'm here.
Here, ready to go. Kinda, sorta, maybe. What?
Gonna be working on some more SMTT rules. I I was working on them and not broadcasting, not sharing, I know, greedy me. But I got a little wrapped up in the development. And when inspiration hits, sometimes it knocks you the hell out and you just go where it takes you. Um
Hello.
so anyway, in Saturday Morning Tabletop, there is the ability to create were creatures as playable characters. They were called the Beast Blood feats. Okay, this is the Beast Dwarf. Let me go into the character options and I'll show you real quick. The following, starting with Beast Blood Boa, right? It's a feat that would give you a animal form and a limited use hybrid form. Like Beast Blood Boa, you become some form of serpent man. Hello, B martial arts,
Brian.
What up, brother? So, oh yeah, Brian, how's the music in relation to my voice for you? Can you hear fine? Is the music too loud? But yeah, the Beast Blood feats. Now, I had originally planned on making expanding on the number of Beast Blood feats. In the current iteration of Saturday Morning Tabletop, there's Beast Blood Boa, Beast Blood Croc, Beast Blood Eagle, Beast Blood Grizzly, Tiger, Octopus, Wolf, of course, for a werewolf. You need your werewolf. So, there's what it was. I wanted to expand upon that, and I wanted to change the rules. And because of the ingenious ability to muse of my friends who like to harass me, like Brian. Yeah. Anyway, it's becoming so much more. So I'm developing these rules, especially since the creation of the pet companion rule set for creating a custom pet slash companion for your ranger. With those new rules to open up what kind of creatures and animals and beasts that the players can have accompany them. Now, with the Beast Blood, you have that same customization in the ability to become a were creature in one feat. And that's what I'm working on right now. Currently, it's just the Beast Blood feat. Alright? The prerequisite is spelt wrong because this is alpha stuff. But this feat can only be taken for the first time at first level. The blood of beasts runs through your veins. When you take this feat, you gain the ability to transform into a hybrid creature, were-creature, such as a werewolf, werebear, etc. The transformation lasts until you fall unconscious, whether by taking a nap or something much worse. You may transform into your hybrid form once per long rest for every time you have taken this feat. You may not take this feat more than 5 times. Again, the prerequisite for the feat is that it can only be taken for the first time at first level. Now, there are workarounds around this. The druid, for instance, can ignore that prerequisite. Also, the Beast Blood feat no longer gives you an animal form. It gives you the pure hybrid were creature form. Continuing right along, while transformed into your hybrid form, you gain resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage from non-silvered weapons. You create your hybrid form. To create your hybrid form, first choose a creature, animal, theme that you can partially turn into. Like the theme being a wolf or a bear or a shark, Brian, or a shark, or an octopus, or an eagle, or a parakeet. So you choose your theme, right? Next, choose some abilities, traits from the Beast Blood or Pet Companion ability list. You may gain a number of abilities whose total cost don't exceed. Oh, don't exceed a total cost of 10. Total of 10. I don't know why. That alpha. Reiterating things. Just. So to create your hybrid form, control animal, you may take a number of abilities whose total cost don't exceed. That's what I wanted to write. Why? Why my brain doesn't want to work? Basically meaning you get the abilities, you don't get the points to buy them. So you cannot bank points. This is written in there because I will be writing an example of creating a Beast Blood. Dimitri Frank, for example, is a pre-generated character back from the beginner game days, who is a war wizard, a human war wizard with the Beast Blood wolf. So he's a werewolf. He's a werewolf war wizard. That's the guy you see in the where's my right here. This is actually Dimitri Frank. So that's how you create your Beast Blood for the first time. And you can take the feat a number of times, up to 5. Yeah, I know, I remember you played him. I remember that Brian. It was cool too. I love making characters. I never get to play them, but I love making them. Oh, coffee. Yeah. So the Beast Blood abilities is much more limited than the Pet Companion abilities, only because it's very specific just to the Beast Bloods. For example, this is the list for Beast Blood abilities. The prehensile something or other is probably going to be removed. That's why I have it highlighted in red. I'll most likely be removing it and at best altering it somehow. But in writing this, I realized I could add a brand new option to the pet list that is missing, you know? Yeah, I know your favorite was Mustachio. You rocked the hell out of playing Captain Augustus Mustachio. Where's Mustachio? We need to share let's see, core rules. I had some stuff for that. So let's just go straight to here. So you get a good picture. Yep, here he is, right there. Captain Augustus Mustachio. Yes. Oh my goodness. So yeah, that's your boy right there. You never used any of those daggers or pistol. You just used the power of his mustache. I remember that. So let's go back to the document. All right. So the Beast Blood abilities. These are the following abilities and how they work. Hardened form. The cost is 3, or the value of it is 3. You gain a number of temporary hit points equal to your beat up threshold whenever you transform. So, you know, when you go from your, let's say you're a human Beast Blood, when you go from human to werewolf, you can gain temporary hit points equal to your beat up threshold, which is half your hit points. Basically giving you a damage buffer when in a fight, so you don't really feel that damage. Then there's Reinvigorated. It also costs 3, but you regain lost hit points up to your beat up, hit points equal to your beat up threshold when you transform. Meaning that if you were damaged, you can heal yourself by transforming. So if you had 40 hit points, your beat up threshold would be 20. And you're in your human form, let's say you're Dimitri Frank, you're casting your spells, you know, and this chimera drops down, starts gnawing at you, blasting you with fire while it's in like the dragon head blasts you with fire while you're held down and pinned by the lion's mouth, right? And you're just all sorts of messed up. You're down to like 3 hit points on your last legs, and you decide to transform. You would then regain 20 hit points with reinvigorated. And yes, all of these can be combined, meaning you could have a hardened form and be reinvigorated. This means I can't talk, so this means I need more coffee. Meaning that if you had hardened form and reinvigorated, you would be able to transform, regain up to 20 hit points, and then gain temporary hit point, and then gain 20 temporary hit points. In that example. So now, silver immunity. Okay, the weakness of a were creature is that it's silver, right? Instead of representing some sort of weird allergy to silver, they just get damage resistance, meaning it hurts them. Normal physical attacks hurt them less. Now, with silver immunity, the one caveat to their damage resistance being silvered weapons, they now ignore. So they gain damage resistance against all bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing attacks. Then there's Priest Hensel, something or other. That's going to be removed. Followed by Physical Powerhouse. It costs 4. Choose one physical ability score. Your strength, your dexterity, or your constitution. That, while transformed, that ability score increases by 1 per heroic tier. And you can only choose Physical Powerhouse twice. Meaning you can only choose up to 2 physical ability scores to be upgraded in this fashion. Meaning that as you level up, as your character levels up, if they're a Physical Powerhouse, that particular stat will grow with them. At level 6, for example, level 6 is the first level within the 3rd tier of play. Alright? So you're a tier 3 heroic character. When you transform, if you chose strength, for instance, you'd increase your strength score by 3. Alright? Now, the normal maximum is 5 for any ability score. You know, so you still have to work within those normal maximums. But maybe that should be changed, right? For this, this may bring you beyond normal. What do you think about that? Physical Powerhouse may bring your character beyond the normal maximum of 20. Meaning that when your heroic tier is 5 and your epic heroes, epic characters, you could have a score of 20. Like, oh my goodness, a were dragon turtle ogre, right? Going into his hybrid form, beginning with a 20 strength, and then having a 25 strength when he transforms. Oh, good God, that's something. All right. So that's Physical Powerhouse. The last Beast Blood ability is Rapid Special. You know, these names are of course subject to change. This is only the alpha, but it costs 6, and you must already have a special action purchased. In the Pet Companion rule set, there is the normal actions and the special actions. You don't think you could take any of this seriously? Well, you know, Saturday Morning Tabletop is just about, for the most part, having fun and just going bonkers, like completely bonkers. Let's see, the yeah, Were Dragon Turtle. Look, I'm not even joking. 2 nights ago, was it 2 nights ago? 2 nights ago, a friend of mine wanted to run through the current state of the alpha of these rules, and decided to make a human that was a Were Draco Chameleon. a were-Draco chameleon, a human thief, an assassin who was a were-Draco chameleon. He would transform into this huge monstrosity that had the ability to change the color and texture of their flesh to blend into the environment. With scales. It's silly. It's wonky, but Saturday Morning Tabletop is based off of the premise of Saturday morning cartoons, but in a traditionally fantasy environment, you know. Believe it or not, I've run games with Saturday Morning Tabletop where they had to fight a squirrel necromancer, a bunch of turkey barbarians, and a were turkey who led them. What are some of the other silly? I mean, there was some serious stuff thrown in some of these games, but there've been very, very silly moments. No one has tried to dance battle anyone, which I'm surprised, because I've seen that in actual D&D, where a player dance battled a town guard. But yeah, there have been some pretty silly moments. There's once they fought a creature known as the Beetle Knight. He had like horns on his helmet, and they slammed him headfirst into the ground, and he got stuck momentarily. So yeah, trying to stop going on my tangent, right? Rapid special. Basically, you're in the companion tables. There's two of them. There's the normal table and the special actions table. The special actions normally take a full round action to perform. With the with the rapid special ability for Beast Blood, they can change that into a standard action rather than a full round action. Uh-oh. Sorry, music. Anyway, so this is the at the core. There's the Beast Blood, and of course that integrates with the companion rules, which is here. All right, so this is how to figure out the damage of the abilities that you're getting, and this is currently, again, this is very alpha. Oh, you think it says best blood? Where? Hold on. That's not good. Did I mess that up? No, it says Beast Blood. Oh, wait, yep, right there it says Best Blood. Thank you very much. Again, this is the very, very early alpha. Evelon? Evian? Is it like Avon? No, I'm bugging. Well, thank you. However you pronounce that. Evelon. Evil. The evil is on. The evil. The evil. No, I'm bugging. I'm bugging again. You know what it is? I was playing a game until like midnight, then helped them develop their, talk about their rules development until like 2 or 3 in the morning. Went to bed and then woke up like around 4 or 5, and worked on this, and then helped them again with their rules, and now I'm back here. It's I need more coffee. It's it actually, where is I'll give you the link to the freely available version. Just give me a second to pull it up. This way you can check it out and actually judge for yourself. This is the beginner game. The beginner game is a much more condensed down version. The core rules are all available in the beginner game. It's just that a lot of the character options and special things that you can do are missing, as well as the Evildoer Creation Kit, which is a toolkit for the GM to sort of very quickly run whatever monster they want to run. But yeah, in the development phase of the rules, it does get a bit clunky because this is not refined yet. But I've been told that it's a more mechanically dense version of 5th edition that a 7-year-old will be able to understand. So, you know, but it's up for you to judge. If it's a little bit clunky, if it's a little bit too difficult to understand, difficult to run, difficult to play, you could always tell me. I'm always open to feedback, and I'm always seeking to improve. Send you 7-year-olds, yeah, they got to read the rules. But I mean, have you ever played Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition? That's what the OGL for 5th edition is at its core, is at SMTT's core. So it's as easy to learn 5th edition as it is to learn 5th edition. Yeah, well, the rules, the clue. I don't know, I think I was playing Monopoly when I was around 6 or 7. And winning. But the reason... Here's the thing. For the Beastblood feat, for the Beastblood and companion rules that I'm now developing to update the game with, the changes that I'm about to release, is to make or to grant a great degree of customization to a character, because of the idea that cartoon characters are always really unique from one another. They are vastly unique and very special. Even when they're similar, they're still very different. Like, I don't know if you've ever watched the G.I. Joe cartoon, but who was it? Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow. They were decidedly the only freaking ninjas in the entire cartoon. But they were still really different. You know, they were very, very special. The Wonder Twins. What is the Super Friends? Wonder Twin activate! Wonder Twin powers activate! They were always really different on the kind of powers that they got. You know, like Teen Titans, you've got Robin, Cyborg, Raven, Starfire, Beast Boy. They're all in one team, and yet they're completely... I mean, besides their characters, besides the characteristics, how they behave, as characters, the total package is vastly different from one another. So I want to be able to greatly represent that, and do so in a way that puts the power into the hands of the GMs and players, you know, alike. So for the Beastblood, it's the power is in the hand of the players to create anything that they really want, any theme. Like, if, you know, I don't know, maybe you want to create a were dragon turtle. Maybe you just want to create a were turtle, or a were griffin, or a were wolf, or a were rat, you know, or a were snake. It's up to you, or whatever creature you could kind of think of, you know. If you don't want to read the beginner game because you think it's too, if you think that's also a little bit too dense to gain an opinion, there is a review available. I'll link you to that review. It's much, much shorter than anything. Where is it? Is that it? Yeah, that's it. You know, my the thing I feel most accomplished with is that in the review it's called an evolution of 5th edition, which makes me feel so happy. But yeah. So again, like it says on screen, feel free to ask any questions. But until then, I'm going to keep working on these alpha rules and keep describing them. So in 5th edition and in SMTT, during character creation, you have to choose a background, and each background gives you a sort of special feature. I have a background that lets you take a beast blood feat, but it needs to change a little bit. And this is the change, the lycanthrope background. You gain the beast blood feat. However, you may gain a number of abilities from the pet companion table or beast blood table whose total cost does not exceed 20 instead of 10. So it gives you a bit more points to play around with in the beginning if you have it as a background. But it does count as one of the 5 times you can take the beast blood feat. Now there is a bond, because there are things, character options in Saturday Morning Tabletop are separated by bonds and feats. A bond you can only have one of. A character can only ever have a single bond, because bonds are a little bit overpowered, you know, but they're available to all characters. And they scale with you, they grow with you. You know, so you get features at 6th, 11th, and 16th levels when you take a bond. Alright, this was formerly the lycanthrope bond. So when taken for the first time at any level, you may transform as a standard action instead of a full round action. Normally transforming into your hybrid form takes a full round action. Okay, so you understand the point cost and you find it a little clunky. So in your opinion, Evelon, I'm gonna call you Evelon, whatever. In your opinion, what route would you go to alleviate that clunky feeling? Besides going a point route. Because I think to gain the required balance, all right, the system seems bonkers, crazy, and totally imbalanced, but there is a balance to the system. Right, lycanthropy as a sub-race off the top of my head. Yeah, I mean, that's a possibility, werewolves as a sub-race, right? But even as a sub-race, let's say, so lycanthropy as a specific sub-race to all races, I think that's too dense, don't you? Like, it would require too many additional pages or too many additional words and still not have the same amount of flexibility. No? Yes? Yeah, dude. I'm an old schooler. I've played 2nd edition D&D, 3rd edition D&D, 4th edition D&D, Pathfinder, 13th Age, D20 Modern, D20 Modern Future Tech, D20 Modern Fantasy, the Rokugan D20, Legend of the Five Rings, Fantasy Age, the Cypher System, Numenera, the Iron Kingdoms games, both of them, you know, Fate, different Fate worlds, Savage Worlds. Yeah, but see, I want to stick away from template from for Saturday Morning Tabletop, because a template, that's when you go into the realm of ECL, right? And ECL is not well done, in my opinion. You know, back in 3rd edition, right? 3rd, 3.5, somewhere around there, they released a, oh god, I can't remember the name of the book. Savage Species, I think it was called. Anyway, well, I'm gonna have to Google this now. Savage Species. Yeah, it was called Savage Species. Wow. That was released 10 years ago. Damn, why you gotta make me feel old? Anyway, they released Savage Species. Savage Species had a listing of templates, all of which could be applied to player characters as well. Monster races as player classes. And while it was a good attempt at trying to achieve what they would achieve within the confines of the original rule set, ECLs became a bit clunky in my opinion, because say your party's level 6, right? You're a level 1 fighter Minotaur, all right? And someone else is a level 6 character, which it gimps you so much more in certain areas, like usually in the beginning, and then it doesn't scale right. Like it creates the notion of power creep. Like, I don't know if you've heard that or whatever, but the notion that creatures don't scale enough or in the same way or properly with the players, right? Which makes it very difficult. The players have got to start battling gods and otherworldly, cosmic entities just to have a challenge, right? Because, for instance, using the Savage Species rule set in Dungeons & Dragons 3.5, I think it is, or 3.0, I made a multi-class dwarf, right? This multi-class dwarf was the very reason why beast dwarves are in my game now. All right, it was a very old concept that I had. I had this concept since second edition, when they released the psionic rules for second edition Dungeons and Dragons. Anyway, in 3X, my beast dwarf had was multi-classed, but essentially he had the feral template. All right, and the feral template I think was like an ECL of +2 or +3. Now, I was allowed to have the feral template, but it was given additional limits because the GM feared its power. All right, and even with its additional limits, I had a character that was so much more unstoppable than any of my contemporaries, even though my actual level, my class level, was lower. And I think that's sort of clunky. That hurts. Rather than doing the prep work beforehand, you're accounting for things while you're playing. Like for the feral for the feral template, it gave you an ECL, and then it had a progression track depending on how many hit die you had. Okay, of being a player character, I basically had a hit die of 1 per class level. Right, the limitation that the GM put on it was only barbarian hit die count. Okay, so it did allow for a bit of scaling. It was nice. It was fun. But again, I wasn't the same level as everyone else. I was the same ECL as they were character levels. But that's when it's just the terminology. It throws your brain all over the place, I think. I think with a point system, now this is my opinion. If you still think it's clunky, you just feel free to let me know. But I think with a point system, it creates a more finite end goal to what you're doing. Doesn't change your level, doesn't change your ECL, doesn't change your character, your core character class features or abilities, because you're still progressing at the same rate everyone else is. It just means that your extra things are different than their extra things. You could be a werebear, right? And maybe they could be a sniper, firing between heartbeats, never missing a target, shooting with their eyes closed, and that's something you're completely and utterly incapable of. But you could transform into a hybrid bear and tear someone up with their claws. It's just a sense of feeling different and special and having a different way to approach the same situation. You know, I would love to just have originally. I don't know if you were here when I was talking about originally what they were. Originally, Beast Blood was separated in very specific feats: Beast Blood Wolf, Beast Blood Bear. You know, to become a werebear or a werewolf, and it gave you very specific things. And this is how it works currently in the game, in version 1.04. Right? With the update, I want to add, I mean, if I could, infinite customization, but I can't. So I just want to add a great deal of customization, you know, where even werewolves are a bit different, you know. Maybe you're a were timber wolf, or a were fox, or a were dire wolf, or a were amarok, you know, which is a legendary wolf, which actually originates from Inuit myth and culture, the amarok. Or a were coffee drinker. That is so great. I love coffee. In the morning. I don't like coffee in the middle. I can't stand coffee in the middle of the day after I've like had everything to eat, drink, done what I've done. But coffee in the morning is great. Maris Fulgur! What's up, brother? Just tuning in. Where creatures intrigue me. A quick question. What is SMTT? SMTT is the Saturday morning tabletop RPG. It's an RPG developed by myself, using a base of the Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition OGL. It's themed off of being like Saturday morning cartoons that I kind of grew up with, and a lot of that cartoon inspiration, anime inspiration, and comic book inspiration. You know, it's D&D on steroids, speed, cranked up to 1 billion. You know, it's like super powered fantasy heroes. You know, I don't know if you could tell by looking at the cover, but currently I'm working on the next version of the update, which will be the largest update since SMTT's release. And the goal is to offer a vast amount of customization without breaking the game, which I feel like I am on the right route. I have allowed this to be played with some of my beta testers that have been around since the alpha testers, beta testers. They've been around since the inception of SMTT, and their feedback is, for the current things that I'm working on, is good. But yeah, SMTT, if you know how to play D&D, you're already 80% into knowing how to play SMTT. There's just a few core changes, such as awesome power. It represents that sort of intangible nature of how awesome your character is, and some of the crazy things that your character can do. Awesome power also dictates what is heavy armor and what's light armor. What weapons can you pick up and wield? Like, there was a character made called Ace Blade Man, who was a human who dual wielded Buster swords. So you know Cloud's gigantic sword? He had 2 of them and was just whipping butt like that. Just as a for instance. There was a barbarian that used the tree as a club. Maris. I dig it. I play 5e, have a werebear paladin. Nice. Actually, my brother made a werebear knight, which is the SMTT version of a paladin. But yeah, you can well, okay. That's the summary of like the real quick and dry version of SMTT, you know. Oh yeah, and you can body slam giants. I have wrestling moves in here, different unarmed attacks, ground and pound, fastball special. I'm also working on a very elaborate set of rules for the martial artist, which that's going to be mechanically dense and it's going to be easy to understand, but the skill ceiling on the martial artist is going to be astronomical. But that's not what I'm working on today. What I'm working on today is the were creature rules, which currently is in early alpha. All right, it exists in the game. You can be a werewolf, a werebear, a were-eagle, a were-octopus, a were-crocodile, and a were-snake, a were-boa. And I think that's all that's in the book currently. All right, but that's 5 separate feats that do 5 specific things. And the idea that I'm working with now is to expand upon that so that you don't have to follow my vision of what a were creature is. You're able to create your own vision of your own were creature. So as far as where I left off and what I was talking about, actually what I was doing was we left off with the Beast Blood feats. The Lycanthrope gives you a bonus amount of points. It gives you 20 instead of 10 for the background. Then there's a bond called A Dance in the Pale Moonlight. When you take the bond, you can transform as a standard action instead of a full round action. At 6th level, you could turn into your hybrid form without expending any of the uses, as long as you can see the light of the sun, or the light of the moon. Sun. As long as you can see the light of the moon. And at 11th level, you can now transform as a bonus action instead of a standard action, and you gain some additional abilities from the Beast Blood or Pet Companion ability tables, and have 20 points worth of abilities to purchase. At 16th level, you can remain in your hybrid form, your were creature form, indefinitely, and the only thing that could knock you out of that form is an attack that has the True Strike feature. But I'll be right back and just leave you with some of this music. I gotta step away for a second. I have returned.
Hi.
So yeah, where did I leave off?
Muggus, I need that in my life.
Yeah. uh, it's fun. Like, I'm dying to play more SMTT, but being the creator, I find myself being the one who runs it the most. I've only played in 5 games since it's been released, but I've run like 30 of them. No wait, since its release, have I run 30? There's like, what is it, 12 or 13 Hero School games. 1 Hero School Nevermore game. There's Matchstick, Reign of the Squirrel King, Thunderbird, Turkey Day. That's 4. There's more. Beyond the Land of Tick and Tock Part 1. The Clockworkatrice. 5. I've done more, haven't I? I know I have. Oh, the Beetle Knight. That's 6. A lot. I've run it a lot. Forget counting. I've run it a lot since it's released. where was I? I was in the Dance of the Pale Moonlight Bond. Moving on to what I was working on for the Beast Dwarf, which in SMTT in the world of Gemini, Beast Dwarf is a sub-race of dwarf. They are bigger, tougher, stronger, and meaner than the normal dwarves, which are Weisenheimers. And the Weisenheimer dwarf is much more like your traditional Dungeons and Dragons dwarf, while the Beast Dwarf is much larger. If we go to the racial pictures, no, is the racial pictures or the character creation? Dang nabbit! Oh, here it is. There's the picture. This represents the scale of the characters, and as you can see, the Beast Dwarf is as tall as a short human. You know, and almost as tall as everyone else as well. Beast Dwarves are big. Because they're bigger, meaner, tougher, stronger. You know, they're wild and not like normal dwarves or dwarfuses. So in the current version of the rules, the Beast Dwarves have two features that need to be addressed before releasing the next version of the rules, which is their primal nature that allows them to gain a Beast Blood feat, and then Fury of the Mother. They may spend a recovery when transforming into either the animal or hybrid form to increase in size, so from medium to large. With the current state of the rules, that's all about customizing your theme. You can become something larger than you already are. So that being in the rules, that only has to do with purchasing power, right? So all I need to do is add primal nature, right? I have so many tabs open, so give me a second. So for the primal nature, the Beast Dwarf gains the beast, not the beat blood, the blood, no. The Beast Blood feat. What the clued? The Beast clued. My typing ability is just horrible. What I'm gonna do is I'm kinda gonna cut and paste this. Oh, we need to add a boom. However, they may gain a number of abilities in the pet companion table or Beast Blood, a table whose total costs do not exceed 20 instead of 10. Additionally, well, no, maybe that'll be part of the Fury of the Mother, right? Now, as far as 10, should be additionally, they may expend a recovery to transform. Their normal maximum? That sounds weird. It's the basis of something. It's the basis of an idea, but it reads really weird right now. You know, additionally, they may expend a recovery. So, let's try. If the Beast Dwarf can no longer transform normally, they may expend X recoveries to transform into their hybrid form, right? And then X equals number of beast blood feats they have, right? And again, right there. So you can take the beast blood feat up to a maximum of 5 times, and every time you do so, you get additional abilities. Your beast blood, your wear form becomes stronger, and at least with this one, it accounts for that. Like if you've expended all your natural recoveries, you've been beat up, you've been knocked out, you've been hit with a true strike that reveals your true form, you're like all of that. You've been grinding, you've not rested, you haven't taken a long rest yet, and you still need to transform, and you're not able to as a beast dwarf, depending on how powerful that form is. You just need to spend a few recoveries. I think that's all right. What do you guys think? Okay? How about you, Brian? Or do you have an idea of what Fury of the Mother should become, since now it's already accounted for within the customization process? They could normally become... You still think it's too mechanically dense, Evelyn?
I don't want to know what you think.
I mean, I do.
Stop messaging me, people.
Yeah. What would Fury of the Mother be? Should Fury of the Mother... See, it was Fury of the Mother. I was thinking about that being, that adding the ability to turn into a beast. So they could become a beast or a were-beast. A werewolf, dwarf, or just an animal. Should that be the case for them? I mean, originally, in their original concept, back from the second edition days, they never actually became animals. They were just giving into that animalistic nature and having it manifest on them. So Ivalon says, I think maybe by trying to offer lots of customization, it loses something in the process. Like, what is the difference between a lycanthrope and a beast dwarf? Other than one is a dwarf and one is not. Well, the lycanthrope is part of the background. Like, you've gained it. You're a different race. But the idea is that the beast dwarf has... It's part of who they are as a people. So they gain different benefits. And those different benefits, for one, is represented, if the beast dwarf can no longer transform normally, they may expend a number of recoveries to transform into the hybrid form. Other than that, I could only represent it by giving them more points to spend during the customization process. Or give them something really special in Fury of the Mother. Initially, in the first design, that's what they got. The ability to become larger, bigger, better, stronger. Which was unavailable to anyone else. So I do understand what you mean. I mean, that's a really good point. The question is how to address that point. Do you think they should have more customization options? Should they... Because for example, if I go over to the companion rules, these ability tables... Oops, I'm scrolling on the wrong screen. Whether you're a pet, a Sorrowborn, or a Beast Blood, the special abilities all cost the same. However, for the not-so-special abilities, they have 2 costs. One is for a beast, a pet, an animal, right? For pets and companions. Theirs cost slightly less, and the cost for a beast blood or sorrowborn, which I haven't gotten to the sorrowborn yet. I'm talking about the beast bloods, which are the were creatures. Their cost is a bit more, so they don't have quite as many abilities naturally, because they're only part animal. Now, should the beast dwarf gain the beast blood feat and have the ability to purchase from the lower column of cost? It's pretty different, and it'll offer them more things without giving them more points. You know? Well, they already have dark vision. They're beast dwarves for crying out loud. But blind sight, the ability to taste the air, amphibious. What do you guys think? What? Ugh, no, that's the wrong thing. There we go. I've only just got it to beast dwarf, to adjusting the beast dwarf. So this is still very, very rough. But what would you think should be the thing that separates this beast dwarf apart from an other lycanthrope? Because they have a primal nature. It's in their genes, their genetic code. They're not a werewolf ogre or a were tiger halfling. They're beast dwarves. All right, and they're from a wolf bloodline or a bear bloodline. It's a part of who they are. So therein lies a very interesting question. And it's not the only question that needs to be answered, because after this I have to move on to the changeling and whether or not they have the ability to take on animal forms. And if they do, how does it work for them and their racial ability? Oh, the questions are hard. Yeah. Let's see. Because under lycanthrope, I could be a were dwarf. Oh my goodness. That's no, that's not the intention. If you want to do some wonky stuff like that, just for kicks and giggles, maybe. But you're not taking dwarf features. You're taking animal features. You're like claws, a tail, armored scales, a breath weapon, and becoming amphibious, gaining teeth and having a bite attack. But yeah, I don't have any good, easy, and quick answers. Yeah, that's fine. And this is all within the very early stages of this part of the update. I haven't addressed the beast dwarf yet at all. I've only just I've only just gotten to this point where I'm addressing the beast dwarf. And it's more than just the theory of the mother. It's the core of their nature. All right. If you're still there, Brian, I'd enjoy your opinion as well, because you've been around since the beginning, since the very first since the very first beast blood feat was designed. So that's kind of important to me. That's what happened. The music stopped. No. Don't you ever stop. Keep going. I was already listening to that one. Let me start that at the beginning. Yeah, so let's see. They can either get more points, more than 20, which the lycanthrope gets 20. Yeah. Cannot take the
I forgot the eye.
raised by animals background. So they need to be special than that. Not just a version of that they can get for free. Haha. Well, that's kind of special too. Like, it's a version of that they can get for free. They don't need to spend a background in it. But that's not special enough. I get that. I get that. Hold on a second.
I put the wrong thing.
What? I'm silly sometimes. So, alright. Moving right past that, though. What would Fury of the Mother be? Huh. The Beast Blood, yes, the Beast Blood and pet tables are separate. However, becoming a Beast Blood allows you to gain abilities from both. You can gain abilities from the pet table and abilities from the Beast Blood table. The reason being, oh crap, where am I? Yeah. The reason being is that when you create a pet, the pet gets stuff from the pet tables. But when you create a beast dwarf, a beast blood, or a beast dwarf, you can choose from the pet tables or the beast blood table.
So what is their little special thing?
Because they have something that's kind of sort of special. That bed is not actually my bed. And yes, there's someone in there. Oh no! Oh my goodness! Yeah. Oh no. Oh no, what am I... But yeah, Beast Dwarf, the...
Yeah!
You know.
You may have been afflicted with lycanthropy, but I have been this way since my father and my father before him. Ah!
You know. What would they be?
This is a blessing from the furious mother herself, not simply a curse carried in the blood.
I'm just doing that to try to get my headspace a little bit better. See maybe if that sparks an idea. Oh my goodness. Wow, why am I so lost? This is stumping. You had a question and you stumped me, Evelyn. Yeah, freaking stumped me. I almost feel like drawing to see if I could spark some creativity through that, but this is not one of those streams. This is a rules creation stream, not an art stream, okay? Drawing is for later. Oh. I'm being silly now. This is what happens when I can't think. Alright, so some of the options for becoming animalistic, right? There's already the option to become a Fury of the Mother. Oh, okay. The mother is the Furious Mother. Oh man, there's a lot of stuff behind that. Anyway, she is a deified figure in the Gemini setting, which is the SMTT setting. She's basically a goddess who is the goddess of the balance of nature, of animals and beasts and whatnot. And that primal nature and primal attitude that beasts would have, which is, of course, the antithesis of civilization, of taming the wild, becoming part of the wild rather than taming it. And she's represented in a couple of places. The beast dwarves are one. The Divi Savayan are another, but that's a different story. So the beast dwarves exist because the idea is that they were dwarves blessed by the ferocious mother. All right. She actually has another name that I can't remember. Right now I can't. There's a lot of files. I've got a lot of stuff in the concepts. Right. Where is my figures in SMTT? Is this the one with all of them? Yahtzee, Scotty. No, she's not here, or is she here? Come on now. Is she in a different one? No, it's Solthera. Atariak, the ferocious mother. Damn, that's not the one with the stuff written up. Is this the one? This is on a different. Here's the thing: when I concept, I have I found it. Arteriak. I need to write more on that. But the idea is that you embrace the primal nature of the wild. All right, that there's a balance in there, and that you're working with the natural balance of the world of Gemini and what's intended. The civilizations aren't that way. They're taming the wild. They're conquering them. They're destroying them. Cutting down forests, or digging deep into the earth to forge these towers that reach far beyond what's normal. And the beast dwarves have been blessed by Arteriak, the ferocious mother, to be in tune with that primal nature. Alright, so their ability to go bestial is directly related to the goddess herself. Right? It's not just being a lycanthrope or raised by animals or whatever. It's directly related. Not indirectly related to her, it's directly related to her. So initially in the first version of this feat, or this feat chain, and the first version of the beast dwarves, they had bonuses no one else had. It is, it's already the primal nature, but the idea is what makes them a little more special, right? Like, what sets them apart mechanically from a lycanthrope? And it's a good question, Another question is, do they need to be separated from a lycanthrope? Now, in specifically mechanical development, allowing the beast dwarf to gain the points that a lycanthrope gains without taking the background sets them apart, because it opens them up to taking another background. Right? Also, the beast dwarf has the ability to expend recoveries to transform, which is not allowed by anyone. So there's that. But is that enough? It does. Would that allow you to feel special enough with your beast dwarf? You know, because at the beginning levels, like for instance, at level 6, okay, Gray Bear, the dwarf, can transform. Let's say 4 times. He's taking no level 4. It'd be twice. He'd take the beast blood a second at a time at level 4. So he'd have 2 beast blood feats. He can transform twice a day. And let's say Dimitri Frank, who wouldn't have taken the beast blood feat a second time, he would only be a lycanthrope. His form would be weaker, and he's only able to transform once. And he has no background features because, oh no, he's a human, but he didn't take it. He only has it once. So he's weaker, can transform less often. The beast dwarf can transform twice, and when those 2 times are taken, he can transform 2 more times by expending his recoveries. I just heard an elephant. Let me lower this. That caught me off guard. Freaking elephant. Anyway, can we take a look at the beast blood feat itself? Sure. I'll scroll back up to the 1.5 version of the beast blood feat, which is this right here, followed by the beast blood abilities down there. So, reading that feat once more, this feat can only be taken for the first time at first level. The blood of beasts runs through your veins. When you take this feat, you gain the ability to transform into a hybrid creature, a were creature such as a werewolf, werebear, etc. The transformation lasts until you fall unconscious, whether by taking a nap or something much worse. You may transform into your hybrid form once per long rest for every time you have taken this feat. You may not take this feat more than 5 times. Or you may not have. Would be not. Wow, I cannot type. You may not have this feat more than 5 times. While transformed into your hybrid form, you gain resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage from non-silvered weapons. Silvered weapons can bypass that damage resistance. To create your hybrid form, first choose a creature/animal theme that you can partially transform into. Next, choose some abilities/traits from the Beast Blood or Pet Companion ability list. You may gain a number of abilities whose total costs don't exceed the value of 10. That's the core of the Beast Blood feat. After that, we would have to look at the abilities. So the Beast Blood abilities and the Pet Companion abilities. So what do you think of that, Evelyn? What are your feedback?
All your base are belong to us.
No, what is your feedback on that? And as well, anyone else that's currently watching, feel free to, throw your input in, ask any further questions or anything really. I'm open to almost anything at this point in time. Madnerix. Hello, Madnerix. Evillian. So when would you have the value of 10? Because a lycanthrope and beast dwarf, it says 20. Yes, it says you gain the beast blood feat, right? If we go down to like lycanthrope, you gain the beast blood feat. However, you may gain a number of abilities from the Pet Companion table or Beast Blood table whose total cost do not exceed 20 instead of 10. Meaning, they get the feat the first time, and at that time, they get 20 instead of 10.
Oh, crap.
I think I've got it. Alright, hold on. You get the Beast Blood feat. How are we making? This is in the wrong spot. Is that right? I need to clarify this. Thank you so much, Evelyn. Would you bother taking it without Lycanthrope or Beast Dwarf? Would you be a Beast Blood without Lycanthrope, a Beast Dwarf, and why? No, yes, you would. A human could take it. A human gets a feat or a bond at level 1, right? So they would be able to take it at level 1. The only thing is that without being a Lycanthrope, they would be weaker. But they would have the background opened up. So they can be a zealot. Alright, the background of zealot. And the ability that being a zealot gives you is that you, when you're subject to taking damage, you can instead take a level of insanity to reduce that damage to 0. Alright, so they would be able to have the zealot feature and be able to become a were creature. What did that rhyme? The zealot feature and have the ability to become a were creature. Dun, dun, dun. Now, if they take the Lycanthrope background, a human, and for their first level feat also take Beast Blood, they would start the game as a much more developed were creature. But it would consume their background and their feat. So they're much more dedicated towards that path. Alright, giving them a head start. Not making them ultimately powerful. Alright, yes, at level 1 they would have 30 points in total. Yeah, it would be. Now their maximum, they wouldn't be able to get that much maximum. Because you can only take the feat up to 5 times. You can only have that feat up to 5 times. Right? But let me type this out for Lycanthrope. Alright. Gaining the Beast Blood feat after this point. After this point, grants you. I don't feel like typing. Uh, 10. This way, it's clearly stipulated. Though I might write it in a way that's better, more easily understood. But at least I understand this in this alpha. So the Lycanthrope, it grants you the bonus of 20 instead of 10, only for that first feat. Any other time you gain the feat afterwards, it would grant you 10 normally, as per the normal feat. Now, if we go down to Beast Dwarf, what do you guys think of this? You gain the Beast Blood feat. However, you gain 15 who do not, instead of the normal 10. Gaining, I hate typing new stuff. I just like copy pasting and editing. Yay! So, oh god, it has bullet points on it now. Oh, it had bullet points before. Gains. Gain the Beast Blood feat. However, you may gain a number of abilities from the Pet Companion table or the Beast Blood table whose total costs do not exceed 15 instead of 10. Gaining the Beast Blood feat after this point grants you a number of ability points from the Pet Companion table or the Beast Blood table whose total costs do not exceed 15. It's written horribly right now, I know, but I will clarify that, right? A Beast Blood who cannot transform normally may expend X recoveries to transform into their hybrid form. X equals the number of Beast Blood feats they have. The Beast Dwarf cannot take the Lycanthrope or Raised by Animals background. Alright? So they can't take the background. So, for instance, at level 1, let's say you're a Beast Dwarf warrior, right? And you want to be a werebear. Okay? You could customize that werebear form with 15 points at level 1. However, if you're a human who is a lycanthrope and then spends their level 1 feat to gain their second Beast Blood, they could be a 30, right? But the second time your Beast Dwarf gets that feat, it's still 15, and the third time it's still 15, and the fourth time it's still 15, meaning they won't grow into that power as fast, but the maximum of that power is a bit greater for a Beast Dwarf. You know, because 5 times 15 is 60, whereas 4 times 10 is 40 plus the 20 from the background is 60. Oh, it's the same. Like they had before. While blessing the mother could allow them to take both animal and beast blood form. Okay, it's the same, but the path for which it's made is different. So it still comes down to the fury of the mother. I don't want to give them 20 points per level, because that's going to be a lot. That's 100 points. You could make something totally just... I think it pushes them way too far as the balance. You know, way too much. So, Brian, you feel that they should still have the ability to have an animal form. And the fury of the mother would invoke the primal aggression of the goddess. But how are we going to represent that? Because them expending recoveries to grow in size is already now part of the customization portion of their form. You know, if we go over to the pet companion table, right? I gotta find where it is. I haven't alphabetized these yet. Okay, large build. All right. So whether you buy it for a pet or for a beast blood, it costs 3 points. You permanently increase by 1 size category to a maximum of huge. This alters your pet companion size, but has no effect on the creature's listed stat. This may be taken up to twice. All right. So for a player, if they are medium sized, like a beast dwarf, a beast dwarf is medium sized, and they transform, their hybrid form would have their size increased. They permanently increase the size of their hybrid form, meaning that their hybrid form is large. If they take it a second time, their hybrid form is huge. So it's already built into the customization. Okay, so something like the Nekahito. The Nekahito Oh, 75. Okay. Yeah. Brain, maths. Thank you, Evelyn. So that's better. So they're more powerful. They're 15 points more powerful than anything the human can dish out at their max. Anything. They're 15 points more powerful than anyone else who takes the same exact feat path. And they can choose from whatever background they want. Awesome. All right, that I can live with that. I can definitely live with that. Now, let's look at the Nekahito. All right, because the Nekahito, the ferocious mother, dips into the Divi Savion's nature as well, a little bit indirectly, but the Nekahito Fury's Call. As an action, you may spend 3 recoveries to unleash a vicious roar that begins a rapid transformation. You gain +2 strength, +2 con, and +1 awesome power for the next 5 minutes. Do you think the Beast Dwarves should have something like Fury's Call? CMA! So, what would the Beast Dwarfs version be? What would be Fury's Call, and then we'll load up. Tab over to, oh no, that's the wrong thing. To the Beast Dwarf, to the Fury of the Mother. The difference between Fury's Call and Fury of the Mother. Because again, you can customize your hybrid form by having physical powerhouse. So that's where you get your stat bumps from. You can increase your awesome power by simply choosing the awesome beast feature from the companion table. So they already have a version of what Fury's Call can do. And they, if they run out of maximum transformations, they can still expend their recoveries to transform. So what would their version be for Fury of the Mother? Before it was them increasing in size. That's no longer an issue. That's already handled in Primal Nature now. So what's dangerous yet not broken? What is an interesting and awesome feature that goes with the Fury of the Mother? Should they be able to transform as part of an attack action? Oh my goodness. Logrius!
The Dread Goblin himself.
What up, brother? Damn it. I have so many tabs when I work. Okay, just for instance, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Word documents plus the PDF. The Nekahito has Fury's Call. It's a different race. A Nekahito is a sub-race of the Divi Savion. Currently, what I'm working on is a sub-race of dwarf known as the Beast Dwarf. Beast Dwarves can change into a hybrid, were-creature-like thing. Alright? Which is covered by Primal Nature. Fury's Call. Oh, you thought I said Fury's Call. No! 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 There's nobody running off into a forest in a fuzzy, sweaty, stinky costume doing it in this game. No. Oh. That's terrible. You guys are terrible. Fury of the Mother, stop distracting me. Oh, the War Hamster ability. No! Fury's Call. I don't know, maybe that's an ability for a squirrel performer, huh? Fury's Call. Oh, no, don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. You guys are getting me off topic now. Again, you're getting me off topic. Yeah, so Fury of the Mother. Fury of the Mother. Right. Should Should they be able to taunt when transforming? All right. Here's some mechanical options in my head. Right. Fury of the Mother. As part of the full round action, when a beast dwarf transforms in their hybrid form, they can also attack as if using the attack action. All right, that's one option. Another option is, they when a beast dwarf transforms into their hybrid form, they let out a roar, a screech. They let out a cacophonous sound, which terrifies nearby enemies, causing a fear condition. Or when a beast dwarf transforms, they can expend recoveries to regain hit points, so that they heal as part of their transformation. Or if expending recoveries to transform, they regain hit points equal to the recovery amount for each recovery they expend. These are just some mechanical options to Fury's call. Fury of the Mother. Now, not all of them really feel very ferocious, like healing. I'm gonna ferociously heal. I'm better. That's not very ferocious, but I'm just throwing out options. What else? A taunt, right? Raz. What up, Raz? We're humans. Werewolves bitten by a were-human turning into humans during the day. So like a jackal-were, but the human version of a jackal-were. A wolf-were. Instead of a werewolf, it's a wolf-were. Pack tactics to buff allies. Well, they do have feats and bonds for that. All right. Should that be like, do you think a beast dwarf should inherently get that bonus? Because not every animal is a pack animal. Some creatures are, by themselves. They're bears roaming around alone, or even a lion. A male lion is a very individualistic animal until he gets a pride, until it becomes part of a pride. And even then, the male lion is usually the only male lion within that territory. When male lion cubs are born, when they become old enough, they got to get the fuck out. So I really wouldn't call a male lion much of a pack animal so much as like female lions, lionesses. But so what I'm saying, to inherently assume that the beast dwarf is a pack animal person, like a pack tactics type of person. I'm not sure. Badass roar, I could see that. Attacking like a madman, I could kind of see that. I think it might be a little bit much, but pack tactics is actually a evildoer follower ability. Alright, boom boom, beast blood, feed ideas, martial archetype class. If we go, no, this is the martial artist. Ugh, I don't even know why I have the martial artist still open. Martial artist, deal 5 figures. We can close that one. Feats, beast blood. Oh god, I don't actually have it open. Lawman Marshall. This is part of the next update as well. Alright, Locrius says that, yeah, that makes sense. Fury of the Mother implies defending their young. So how about a wait? Oh, okay. You just joined, that's right. Fury of the Mother is in reference to the goddess Arteriok, also known as the Ferocious Mother. Alright? So, the beast dwarves are directly blessed by Arteriok, also known as the Ferocious Mother. They're blessed by the Ferocious Mother. So, their primal nature is a blessing from the ferocious mother. And wait, oh my gosh, oh my darling, oh my darling, oh my darling, shut the hell up. Okay. The fury of the mother is actually the fury of the ferocious mother, the fury of their goddess. You know, this primal entity, you know, that believes basically in nature, but the animal, the fauna side of nature, how animals exist. You know, their hunting ability, their primal ability, their communities that don't that contribute to the natural order of things rather than circumventing the natural order of things, right? And this is the beast dwarf's ability to share in that anger, that ferociousness, you know, which is part of the race, right? So I do get the confusion though, where it implies, you know, a mother defending their young, but the mother's a goddess, you know. And this is their version of that. Okay, I see now. How about a per rest ability to gain advantage on a single attack? So, if I word it in a way where, you know, Fury of the Mother, okay? Once you transform, until the end of your next round, your unarmed strikes and natural weapon attacks have advantage. Meaning that if you're punching or striking with a tentacle or a claw or a bite, you know, that they have advantage until the end of your next round, because transforming is normally a full round action, which, you know, there are ways to speed that up, but for now, what do you guys think of that? I'm gonna put that down. When the beast dwarf transforms into their hybrid. I'll worry about spelling later. Hybrid form. They gain advantage to natural weapon attacks. Natural weapon attacks and or unarmed strikes until the end of their next turn. Or round, I should say. No, I'm getting spelling so wrong. Alright, so that's trend form. No, transforms. They. No, we're not thaying, we're they. Okay, so that's one option. Right? Okay, so how about a per rest ability? Okay, gain a single attack. Right? Advantage on a single attack. SMTT, I don't know if you've actually looked at it, Locrius. Saturday Morning Tabletop is much stronger than D&D. You know, when you get advantage, certain abilities you get an advantage on the next attack. Others give you advantage for an entire round. You know, which, I mean, you should check out. It's pretty bonkers. But yeah, Ivalon, too many options. Yeah, I do offer my players a great deal of options for customizing what they want to play. You know, and doing so in a pretty defined and cartoony, wonky world. But that's the point for me. The point for me is to allow a player to be something special and have the rules support that special feeling. Yeah, if you have the beginner game Locrius, that's the oldest version. The core rules is I update that digitally. So if you already purchased the core rules, just re-download it, and it will be the 1.04 version. Right now in this hangout, in this stream, what I'm doing is I'm developing the rules for the next update, the 1.05 update. 1.05, 6, and 7 will be absolutely huge updates. Right now, Beast Blood, the Beast Blood, the Ranger, the Lawman Ranger, the Barbarian Druid, and the Visage of the Beast spell school are being majorly overhauled. Alright? With that being done, I will also be adding the Marshal, the Lawman Marshal archetype to the game, which you're leading a group of men, a group of followers. You'll now have the ability to get hirelings, to hire NPCs to follow you around, to hire pets and mounts, which wasn't part of the rule set originally. As well as a slew of nifty little bonds and feats that I'm adding to the game. One of which basically gives you the ability to be Venom. So, take that as you may. The next few updates will add something as in-depth as this to be able to customize your weapons and your armor. It's really... The next update, I'm not sure I'm going to include the whole thing in the update because it's going to be huge. It's going to be like an additional 50, 60 pages at the very least. So I might have it as a GM only thing, but who knows? Right now, what I need to do before the book is officially ready to go to print, the next 3 updates need to be done. Because I'm just about ready to go to print with this baby. You know what I'm saying? But this I like for the Fury of the Mother. When a Beast Dwarf transforms, they gain advantage on their natural weapon attack or unarmed strikes until the end of their next round. So a full round action to transform, and after that, anything like if a opportunity attack is provoked, they gain advantage on that. On their round, if they charge you an attack, they get advantage on that. And if they get a Dance in the Pale Moonlight, and are high enough level to transform as a bonus action, they pretty much get 2 full rounds of attacking at advantage. I think that's very special. And for only the Beast Dwarf to get that, I think that's pretty awesome. So I like the way that sounds. If there are any other ideas or any other sorts of input for what it could be, I'm still free. Feel free to post it in the comment section, in the chat box, and we'll talk about it. But I do like this. Though they still aren't able to turn into animals, Brian. But that's fine. That's fine. Just be a Beast Dwarf Druid if you want to turn into animals too. I mean, come on. I like this. So while we wait for an option there, let's actually move on to changelings, because I need to create a little spot for me to dock these ideas. Raised by animals or lycanthrope backgrounds. Right? Changling change. The changling. Alright, so what can they get? Okay, the free roar. Alright, so this is option 1. So option 2 would be when a... Now, only one of these will make it. I'm not giving them everything. I'm giving them one. So whatever happens, only one of them will make it. I hate typing extra.
Oh, come on, man. Why gotta be that way?
Alright, there we go. Transform. Oh, that.
Into the bones of their enemies.
Alright. Why did I do that? Beast dwarf. I'm just typing all sorts of wrong, aren't I? Okay, so this is option number 2. The ability to cause fear. What else? In Saturday Morning Tabletop, there are minions in the game. Minions are easily dealt with. Should there be a version to defeat minions while transforming? Just throwing it out there.
We're throwing things to the wall and we're seeing what sticks.
So the roar can induce fear, but what if the roar actually defeated minions? Like any minion within 120 feet of a beast dwarf on a turn that they transform, or in an encounter. We'll remove the distance. Any minion within an encounter that a beast dwarf transforms, or as part of the transformation, the beast dwarf can perform a defeat minion's action. Meaning, like, he just stops the hearts of these creatures. Oh my gosh! Like, get a heart attack or something. I mean, they defeat. Defeat isn't always death, you know? And I use the word defeat instead of death for very specific reasons. Like, they defeat minions, these dudes run away. You know, it's also up to the player how they describe how they're defeating minions, which often results in descriptions of visceral destruction. But that's up to the player, not me. I mean, having them run away in terror, where only those that are strong enough to fight you on equal footing remain, I think could be cool, and definitely not all that overpowered, since people are defeating minions left and right anyway. So let's put something else in there. Let's add that into the list of possibilities. This will be option number 3. Transforms in hybrid form. They let a ferocious roar that puts the fear of the goddess into the ones, into the hearts, into the hears. No, into the hearts of lesser creatures. But I did something wrong here. It's not the ones, it's the bones. Oh, not Deb ones. No, the bones. Right. Any minion. Oh, any minion. Okay. Let's see. So on the turn, the beast. On the turn, the beast dwarf transforms. Right. Transforms. Should he perform a defeat minion actions? Well, transforms a number of minions equal to dwarf's heroic tier. Tier times AP is the normal way of calculating it. We won't go normal. Level equal to the beast dwarf's level are defeated. There, a defeat. Oh. Let's put that little caveat in there. The beast dwarfs. The dwarfs. They're not dwarfs. They're dwarfs.
Hey, man, that's a comma, not a
Not an apostrophe. What the hell? So option 3. No space background? Where? Oh god, where? What? Oh, by the way, Shadzar, hi, hello. What do you mean no space background? Where is that? Oh, yeah, right here. Thank you. I'm good at drawing. I'm good at coming up with stories. I'm good at coming up with mechanics. I am bad at the whole spelling thing and grammar. Thank you, Shadzar. Thank you so very much. Save this. Okay, so it's time. It's time to vote. I might have to put this up on a poll, but so what do you all think for Fury of the Mother? We've got 3. Yeah, my spell checker isn't very good at it anyway. The what? Raised is spelled okay. Whatever. It is what it is. Like, instead, like, he just wants me to capitalize stuff. It's weird. Which version of the roar? The roar that instills fear, or the roar that defeats minions? Because the roar that defeats minions will also work on undead minions, since they're able to narrate. Right? It HS the wavy lines under raised. I think it's misspelled. Oh, yeah. I don't know why. Yeah. It's trying to change the grammar of it all, but the background is entitled "Raised by Animals." Yeah, defeat minion roar. It's not a defeat minions action. Remember, hard to kill minions, which undead usually are hard to kill minions, are immune to the defeat minions action. But the roar is not a defeat minions action. It's just an action that allows you to defeat minions. You know what I'm saying? It's an action that allows you to overcome a number of minions equal to their level. Which is different. It's a different way of approaching things. Like, imagine as part of the transformation, he's tearing apart undead, frightening living creatures. Beasts run away in terror or bow before him, you know, as he's transforming into this hybrid monstrosity. Like, it's a version. It's a version of what's going on. You know, so I've got three options. We need one of them to be what's chosen. So option one, they gain advantage on attacks for a short time after transforming. Option two, they instill fear into the hearts of their enemies and into the bones of their enemies. And option three is another roar, but it's one that results in the conquering of minions, defeating them either by making them run away, submit, die of heart attacks or whatever. So it currently looks like, well, since you're the only one participating in this part of it, Marshall, option one might be removed, leaving the two roar options. Leaving just the two roar options. Boop, boop. Yeah, wait a minute. I don't hear music. Is it still playing or is it just playing really low? It's playing really low. It's on that meditative state, you know. Need to be calm and just relaxed, be one with the universe. I'm being silly. No, Brian, we're not using both options. That's too much. It's too much. One of them will suffice. Okay, one. But which one? Which one of those two roars best encompasses the fury of the mother? Alright. I'm just making noise to pass the time right now. Because I'm stuck at Fury of the Mother. This time, I'm instead of stuck with nothing, stuck with too much. We need to trim the fat. What are we gonna trim? I think I like the minion version more. What program? What program is doing it? Oh. Yeah. Okay, that's what you mean by doing it. The changeling one. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know why, but it's weird. It's just what I deal with. Oh, maybe it's because it's or the. Yeah, simply adding the changes it. Gets rid of the green wavy lines just by adding the. So, junk programs, yeah. So Locrius, you think the defeating of minions is more powerful, but the fear is more thematic. Thematic in what way? Because if it's every evildoer within 120 feet gets to roll versus fear, during... Now this is just mechanically, right? Speaking about it mechanically. During gameplay, that round could result in dozens of wisdom checks. Right? Let's say you're surrounded by 2 or 3 enemies that are not minions, that they're powerful. They're the bosses and mini bosses, let's say, for example. They're equal to or higher than the player's level. Then there's all the creatures that are lower than the player's tier and minions to the players. And there's about 2 or 3 dozen of them, right? That means there are going to be nearly 4 dozen fear checks to see who gets fear and who's, you know, where is that fear tracked. But with the defeating of minions, it's simply you narrate how many of these little minion bastards you overcome. You know, I'm thinking I'm going to be leaning more and more towards the minion one. Since it won't really slow down the game, you know, just to handle mechanics. Like, what do you do when you got to roll a dozen d20s? You know, if you know your bonuses, I mean, it's not going to be hard. It's not going to be hard to calculate. Just thinking of other GMs, like some people have problems. The problems I have with words, some people have with numbers. So simple math, it can be a stumbling block. And, you know, that's like 2 or 3 dozen simple things. Hey, okay, they rolled. What are you going to roll? 17? Alright, that's not a 17, that's 17, that's not a 17, that's 17, that's 17, that's not a 17. But then keeping track of what bad guys have fear and what don't. I really think I'm arguing myself. I am arguing myself out of the fear one, even though I made it. But that's just the process, right? The fear one is good because it adds a bit of utility. Because creatures that are feared can't move closer to you and roll with disadvantage on their attacks if they're attacking you. But yeah, the less rolling is just, you know, or auto fear minions. Huh. Now, oh geez. That's about to create an option for. Wait a minute. Okay, really quick. This is not going to be mechanical or anything. No, that's fine. That is fine, Locrius. Don't even worry about that. It's all about the process. This is not late in its development. This is early. Today is the first day that I have approached the Beast Dwarves and trying to update them to this new version of the Beast Blood feat. So, you know, it's a process. I understand it. Sometimes you got to trim the fat, you got to iterate, you got to grow and build upon, and sometimes completely scrap things. But I like this, right? So auto fear minions. All right, so any minion who is able to be afraid fears the auto fear minions. Now, is it auto fearing minions that see, or just the beast dwarf in his hybrid form exudes such an aura that minions are hesitant to attack. Yeah, don't exactly. Brian inundates me. He inundates me with stuff. Simple little words. Little you have no clue, Locrius, the amount of things that I've created, thrown away, recreated, improved upon, and then condensed simply because of chats with Brian. And the game system is all the better for it. You know, I'm Brian, to tell you, I'm not adverse to putting work in. Not at all. If like the Saturday morning tabletop folder is like 50 or 40 gigabytes worth of information, and not all of that has made it into the game. I've got feats and bonds that are maybe a page long that started as complete classes, which I distilled down to their essence and made it so that anybody could take, like the Sorrowborn or the My Own Enemy Bond, which basically lets you become kind of like Venom or Guyver or Carnage or the Darkness. You know, it lets you become something like that. Was originally three entirely separate character classes, which is now a single bond that any character can take, allowing any pre-existing class to gain some of those features. And I like it that way. It's better that way. So don't worry about that. Don't worry about giving me info and just setting me off. I might bitch and moan and complain as a joke, but that's all it is. It's just me being, funny. But I'm from the streets, so sometimes my funny is a bit rough around the edges. So auto fear minions. Oh, I'm waking up. Sorry. I'm excited. Sorry, go to sleep. Ignore me. Alright, so auto fear minions. Alright, so dwarf is they exude. This will change. Justice is rough. Okay. They exude.
Okay, I'm getting up.
Into their hybrid form. Oh, wait. Blast. No, blessed. No, blast. Son of a mother lover. What? No! What? Just stop it, computer! Okay, there we go. Chadzar from the streets. The punchline usually comes with a few teeth. Oh, jeez. Punchline usually comes. Yeah. Damn, that's cold, man. That is cold. Auto fear minions. When the beast dwarf is transformed, they exude the primal anger of the goddess that blessed them all those eons ago. When the beast dwarf is transformed into their hybrid form, now, okay, should it be a fear effect or disadvantage? Like simply disadvantage, meaning minions can attack the beast dwarf. They can run towards the beast dwarf to attack them, or should it be that they cannot willingly draw close? Because that's what the fear condition does. You cannot move closer to the object of your fear willingly. You cannot willingly move closer to the object of your fear. And when you attack the object of your fear, you do so with disadvantage. So should it be fear or just disadvantage? all minions who are
susceptible. Okay, there we go.
That's option 4. Option 2 is, yeah, not really going to be a thing, but now it's between option 3 and option 4. But I think option 4 is probably going to be the one. So what do you guys think? Auto-fearing minions. While the Beast Dwarf is transformed, minions who are susceptible to the fear condition gain the fear condition of the Beast Dwarf. They cannot willingly move toward the Beast Dwarf, and when they attack, they do so at disadvantage. God, that's powerful, but since it only works on minions, it's not overpowered. But man, can I imagine that in a game. Like, that is a great support ability, actually. I like that. I like that. Because think about it. The Beast Dwarf in their hybrid form, if that Beast Dwarf were to take the forefront, be in front of everyone, and there's a slew, there is a dozen, there is a 2 dozen, there's 100, there's 200 minions, right? Like, you guys are level 6, which is tier 3, and there's 200 level 2s, which tier 1s, right? Lackeys, right? They're lackeys to you, and you're like, and they're like, oh my gosh, we're not moving close. Then they cannot charge the rest of your allies as long as the rest of your allies are within your vicinity, are behind you. Because to move towards them, they've got to move closer to you. Wow. So you could play that as I'm just a badass, or be a little bit support oriented with it. Holy cow. Yo, a Beast Dwarf Storm Priest, okay, with the Hammer of God feature, right? Oh no, God's Hammer feature, right? So whenever they deal damage with a bludgeoning weapon, they can, instead of dealing damage, knock a target back a number of feet, 10 feet, 20 feet. I gotta double check, but they knock a target back, right? So they could charge in, attack the target, knock them back. Oh, they're minions though, so if you damage a minion, that's it for the minion. But that's hella. Like, they could use that to charge the BBEG, the big bad evil guy, right? They could charge the main evildoer, fight him, and in the fight, none of the minions can draw closer to that fight to help their master, you know? Okay, option 4, it is.
Fury of the Mother.
I love it. I absolutely love it. It's powerful enough. It's not overpowered. It's pretty thematic. And it doesn't affect the main bad guy, the BBEG, the main evildoer, the master, the mastermind, the creature behind it all. They'll be immune to it, but minions would get trounced by it. Am I getting a little bit too excited? I'm going to have to calm down. Alright. Changelings. Changelings cannot take the raised by animals. Background. Create a... So I gotta move on to changelings. Changelings can't take any of that stuff, and they can have a changeling only feat that allows them to become beasts. Currently, changeling only feat, changeling only feats, beasts, possibly working with the Druid class feature? I don't know. That's the possibly.
Possibly. You and your typing inability.
Alright. Because changelings eventually becoming skilled enough. Alright, changelings can take the beast blood feat. They ignore this feat can only be taken for the first time at first level requirement, right? They can ignore that. So they become a beast blood feat. However, being a beast blood gives you one form that improves with time. Or improves every time you take the feat. Right? But changelings can take a feat, the mimic feat, to allow them to transform into objects. And maybe they should be able to take a feat that allows them to turn into beasts. Huh. Or should they not be able to take the beast blood feat, but actually, okay. Create a changeling only feat. Changelings cannot gain the beast blood feat by any means, because they're not beast bloods. They're not lycanthropes. They can never be raised by animals because of what they are. The myth of changelings. The changelings is an SMTT, or closer to the actual fairy tales of changelings. When mortals that cannot have a child pray for a child, and their prayers are answered by a fairy, giving them a facsimile of the race. You know, so a changeling is born human or dwarf, and over time they may realize that they are not a human or not a dwarf, and in fact a changeling that is able to mimic the appearance of the intelligent races. And that can be built upon by taking the mimic feat, which allows them to turn into objects, or evil I'm going to eat you alive objects as well, right? So they shouldn't be able to go beast blood, but actual beasts should be a feat. I think I like the idea of that for changelings. So should I actually work on the changelings? Should I work on the changelings now, or should I take a break and go get some lunch? Because again, I've just been... my breakfast has been liquid and caffeinated. Drinking coffee. I mean, I call it coffee, but technically it's espresso. You know, I drink black espresso. Drink Bustelo, baby. And a lot of it. Jeez. Oh. Because I don't sleep, I need that power.
I need the power of the espresso to wake me up. It's liquid creativity, I tell you.
Should I work on changelings? Should we do an example of creating a beast blood now? Or should I save that for a future stream? Because at some point I do have to log off and do adult. I have to do adult things. And not the, baby adult, no. You know, like cleaning house, laundry, and whatnot. You dirty-minded people, I can't believe you. Anyway. Changeling, Fury of the Mother. So a beast dwarf. A beast dwarf. Beast dwarves are done. Thank you, gentlemen, very much. A dance in the pale moonlight. Lycanthrope. Alright, so let's... Dimitri Frank. Would he have been raised by animals? I can't remember him. Right? Frank. Do I have his background listed? Status. Dimitri Frank's background is a noble one, so he's a noble. So he's a noble beast blood. So he'd have the beast blood feat, not the lycanthrope background. Right. let's no. Go down to noble. He could be a fairy godchild. Yeah. I was looking for his background, see if he was raised by animals or not, because I couldn't remember. I've made a lot of characters. Dude, the cast of characters is like in the 70s now. With some of the characters you guys have made, the characters that you guys have made that I utterly adore, and some of my own. Raised by animals, relic hunter, savage, street rat, wayfarer. Dude, I went past it. Not a noble birth. There we go. Alright. Yeah, status. The benefit of having wealthy parents with title and estate are yours. Not to mention that your mum and dad are also filthy rich. Not only can you call upon their help and resources, but your status also allows you equal standing when conversing with others of nobility. Choose a kingdom to be approved by your GM, or while within that kingdom's lands, you may reduce the cost of one item by 50 gold pieces, multiplied by your charisma score. You may do this once per long rest with no ill effect. However, money and power have driven men mad before, and you may do this additional times without the need for a long rest by gaining one level of insanity for each additional time. You may apply this additional time to a single item, possibly reducing the cost of a highly expensive piece of gear to nothing. Abusing your status isn't very nice, and depending upon your GM may come with consequences. Alright, so he is noble birth and beast blood, which means he's level 6. Does he have any other feats? Or is it just ability bumps? It's an ability bump that he gets. Alright. So the normal werewolf form, you will not be able to get the previous edition of the Beast Blood Werewolf with the current edition of the rules. So it'll be a little weaker, at least to begin with. Alright, so he will not have a +2 to dex and strength. He'd only have the bonus to one of them, I think. Because he'd have that bite attack, right? Or scent. What should we give him? Let's load up. He's got 10 points. He's got 10 points to spend. Now, the Beast Blood specific abilities. I think he should have Physical Powerhouse, which is 4 out of the 10, right? Physical Powerhouse. Normally, they regain hit points. They heal. So that would be reinvigorated, right? So reinvigorated and Physical Powerhouse will be 7 out of the 10, right? But Physical Powerhouse Dexterity would result in a bonus of 3 to his Dexterity score while transformed, right? Or Strength, Dexterity or Strength. He's not very strong by himself, as we saw when we looked at his pre-gen sheet. His strength is normally only 10. Right? Which could become a 13, and then eventually when it becomes legendary tier, a 14. Right? So, would it behoove him to go stronger? He is a war wizard. He does fight with a sword. Let's look at where is his abilities. Oh, and he summons an arcane hand that does wrestling moves. That's what his other feat is. Okay. Anyway, Chain Lightning, Indra's Fist, Indra's Lash, Indra's Shout, Lightning Bolt, Lightning Speed. Ah, he has the Dancing Serpent, the Anastolita. It's a magical Form 1, Enchanted Longsword. Form 2, the Uncoiled. Oh, it'd be better for him to be Dex-based. Okay, so Physical Powerhouse Dex. And Reinvigorated. And then let's look. He's got 3 points to spend on Companion. So it's not a lot to spend. Right? Not a lot at all, actually. Could get Keen Senses hearing or sight, or just gain life sense. The ability, no, life sense is 4, not 3. He only has 3 points. None of the special abilities would be that, but just give him claws or a bite. I'm looking. What is his weapon? The Anastalita, the serpent blade, the elven serpent blade. Yeah, he can only afford for a werewolf. I mean, werewolf's not going to have a donkey kick. But he could have the maul, meaning he has claws. And, keen senses? Choose 1 sense with keen senses. Because it costs him 2. So we can give him night vision and keen senses. So choose either hearing or sight. When using this sense, let me just this is not written to accommodate both the Ranger's Companion and the Beast Blood. So when using this sense, you may roll perception checks with advantage. A ranger using the ranger's eyes and ears may roll perception checks with advantage. Alright, so that's a little better. Alright. And this may be taking a second time to gain the other sense. So keen sense what? Keen sense is a night vision. So 2 and 1. So he's a physical powerhouse. Dex, right? So he gets +3 dexterity when transformed. Reinvigorated, right? So he heals on the round he transforms. Right? He has keen hearing or keen sight. I think keen sight would be better with night vision. So his theme is a werewolf, and that's what he has. Boom. Done. His werewolf feature is completed with 1 Beast Blood feat. And eventually, if he gets the Dance in a Pale Moonlight bond, his werewolf form will grow in power. If he decides, well, at level 8 would be his next feat. If he decides at level 8 to gain another Beast Blood feat, his Beast Blood will grow, his werewolf form will grow in power. I like it. I'm like excited. Alright. Alrighty. And then he has all these damn spells to draw upon, which is just not fair.
Unlimited power.
These are all, like, these are the spells and stuff kind of themed a bit because of the fact that they're for a pre-generated character. So everything is written in a way to hopefully sell that pre-generated character's mind state, like who they are. Right? So right now, he doesn't have a bite attack. He loses the bite attack. Right? But he can regain... Instead of regaining hit points up to his beat-up threshold, he regains hit points equal to his beat-up threshold, which can take him up to his maximum. So he's a little bit tougher and doesn't have the bite attack, unfortunately. But he's got the fucking sword, so there you go. And he doesn't have a wolf form, only a werewolf form. But he has a mana well 14. He can detect magic, spell DCs. Those are all unchanged. He doesn't have scent. He has night vision and keen night vision at that. But he has by sword and by shield, sword art. He summons a giant fist that does wrestling moves. The hand grapples you and pile drives you. But, I mean, when he turns into his werewolf form, like, I can imagine him running low on mana or running out of mana and then falling back on the werewolf form. Right? Because when wielding his Anastalita, right, instead of 16, it goes up to 17 for now. It will grow as he tears up. But instead of attacking once with the Anastalita, he can attack up to 3 times in its whip form, right? In its uncoiled serpent form. Which it's good. That's really good. If someone else casts divine favor on him, oh man, it works well with teamwork is what it is. Arcane Hand strikes. Arcane Hand wrestling moves. Call lightning, chain lightning, Indra's fist, Indra's lash, Indra's shout. Basically, he's a lightning werewolf. That's what it is. He's a freaking lightning werewolf. Alright. He's a noble lightning werewolf. Okay, so what else? What else can we do? What other were creature? Oh, you wanted to do King Shark, right, Brian? Okay. So let's say King Shark is a human with the lycanthrope background and the beast blood feet, right? Which means, let me get a blank-ish piece of paper to do this on. Okay, which means King Shark is a human being with a shark hybrid form, right? And you have 30 points. 30 points of abilities worth to get at level 1. Alright, 30 points. So,
Ow! You little son of a gun!
So as far as the Beast Blood abilities, what do you... I'm so imagining King Shark as being a physical powerhouse, usually with strength. What do you think? Think physical powerhouse strength fits him. Think hardened form. Yeah, hardened form. So he gains temporary hit points when he transforms fits as well, right? So 3 for that. I don't think we need to worry about silver immunity at level 1, but that's up to you. I don't know about reinvigorated so much, but I definitely like the idea of being a physical powerhouse with his strength and giving him hardened form. Also giving him armored hide, because sharks, technically a shark's scales are kind of made of the same thing a shark's teeth are made out of. So with that in mind, I do think armored hide would apply. Armored hide, where are you? Okay. Now, once or twice. You want a +2 or a +4 bonus to your AC? let's go for twice, right? So it's 4, 2 times 2. Armored hide. So you have a +4 to your AC when you transform. Right. And then bite. Oh, large build. Okay, where was large build? I think large build was 4 points. Oh, 3 points. Wow. So he becomes a large character when he transforms from medium. Alright. Bite. He's a shark, so a bite attack is very important. Alright. Currently, out of the 30 points worth of abilities, there is 8 and 6. 8 and 6 is what? 13? No, 14? So you've spent almost half. Almost half. You need a bite. Now, I'm thinking we should invest the hell into a bite. Like, you can take it multiple times up until you get Class A damage. So, with that in mind, you've got 14, right? You have 26 points remaining. Do you want to take what? Not 8 times 6. It was 8 plus 6. And 8 times 6 is not 21? No. He's taking the lycanthrope background and the beast blood feat as his level 1 feat for being human. Which means at level 1 he has a total of 30 that he's playing with. You know, and he's only got 14 up until now, right? So straight off the beast blood, not the beast, straight off of, he needs swim and water breathing. All right, so we have 6 points to spend for your lycanthrope bond, your lycanthrope background, right now. Swim speed is 2, and he needs to be amphibious. Not water breathing, because that means you can't breathe in the air when you're transformed. Where? Awesome beast. Amphibious is 2. Alright. And swim. Good God. I gotta be right back. I got to use the little boy's room. So I shall return. Think about that for a minute. So you gotta spend abilities that total no more than 20 for your lycanthrope, and then we'll move on to your beast blood, which is abilities that total no more than 10. But until then, I'll turn off my camera and I'll mute myself. I'll be right back. I'm back. All right. Oh, the vine. Okay. Jeez. All right. So he's got 14 out of the first 20 spent. I think to better suit him, maybe amphibious is 2 and bite is 4. So amphibious and bite for his lycanthrope feature. So amphibious and then bite 1. Then we go for 10. He needs swim, right? And then we'll give him bite times 2. So he has 3 levels of the bite. And he's done. Alright, Locrius. Peace out, brother. And yeah, you do need to play with us sometime, man. You gotta bring that
Dread Goblin magic.
Oh, man. I got performers in the game, so you know. Alright, so. Golly, he's amphibious. He can swim. He's got an armored hide, a hardened form. He's a physical powerhouse with strength. Now let's see what kind of damage his bite will do. Alright, what is it? What does bite start off at again? Yeah. Bite attack. Toothy Maw, melee natural weapon attack. Gain a bite attack that deals Class G piercing damage. Class G. So G, right? You were a normal, medium-sized hero, but because when you transform, you have a large build, you become one size category larger. You are now a large size hero. So your bite damage would have done D6, but bite has been taken a total of 3 times. So from G to F, and from F to E, which means your bite attack does 1d10 damage. So 1d10 plus strength. Alright, so you deal like a bastard sword, but piercing.
You bite hard. Stop biting so hard.
You know. King Shark. This is at level 1, too. What class would King Shark be, Brian? And if you say Marshall, I might have to murder you. I might have to go. And just erase you. I'm gonna go with a really big eraser and just erase you if you say Marshall. Pit Warrior. Okay. So your King Shark character would be a Pit Warrior. No. No. Though, like, a weird shark hound hybrid companion for a ranger might be interesting. Just saying. Jeez. Alright, so, as a Pit Warrior, would King Shark, would his hybrid form grow in power? Like, would you gain any more Beast Blood feats? Alright, you've already got 2, because you've taken the feat once, and you've taken the Lycanthrope background. Meaning, he can have it up to 3 more times. And the Dance in a Pale Moonlight is always an option for the Bond, right? But what do you envision this King Shark character being? Because you're on Pit Warrior. I don't know if you're going to be punching people or biting people or what.
So what is it, my friend?
What would this King Shark Pit Warrior Me. Golly, you get second wind, gut wrencher, third wind, a bonus to unarmed strikes. Let's see. Level 1. He has all this by level 1, Brian. You might want to eventually get, I think, sparkling pets. Because if you become large when you transform, you're gonna be you're gonna be Hulk moding, right? So you're gonna be bursting out of armor and stuff. Your armor won't be able to grow with you until like you eventually get magical armor that does. So you might not even want armor. Yeah, we finished all the points. What I did was I gave him a lot of points in his bite attack, considering he's a shark, and I thought you might have wanted a vicious bite attack, because normally with one level of bite as a large hero, you would deal D6 damage, but instead you now deal D10 because I gave you bite 3 times. Now we can circumvent that and give him a special attack, all right? Because it costs 8 points to upgrade bite the additional 2 times. You know, so where is it? Like, you could have a maybe a necrotic bite. So like you would only deal the D6 damage, but it would be D6 piercing and necrotic, like for instance for King Shark, and still have 3 points left to spend somewhere. But with its, not is, with its limbs, elongated body or tail, type crush. Huh. You could add necrotic damage to your bite and get crush, but doing your special actions would cost a full round action. It would give you more options, but less damage on your bite. Yeah, that was all the points at level 1, combining both the lycanthrope background, which gave you the first 20 points, which was the bulk of creating King Shark. The only thing that was missing was the swim speed. And then your level 1 feat was the Beast Blood feat, which gave you 10 points, which allowed for the swim speed and the upgrading of the bite attack. So you know you're set. Yeah, it's your King Shark is made. The only thing you'd have to worry about is leveling him up. And you know you want to go Pit Warrior. So you choose a fighting style, gain your hit points. At level 1 warrior, level 2 warrior, you gain your second wind, your action surge. At level 3 you choose your archetype, which you said was going to be Pit Warrior, gaining a bonus to your unarmed strike damage. Then at level 4 you gain your first character option, which can be a bond, a feat, or an ability bump of +2 to 1 score or 1 to 2 different scores. Right. I would only imagine King Shark being a strength, physical character, right? Probably having a 14 or 15 strength by that point. Um, if at all possible, I would have given him a 16 strength. And then for like the very first feat at 4th level, give him Sparkling Pecs, which will up his AC and be reflected even more once he transforms into King Shark mode, right? King Shark can transform twice per long rest. Other than that, he can't transform anymore. That's for level 4. Then level 5, you gain your extra attack feature as a warrior, right? Then at level 6, you get another character option. After gaining Sparkling Pecs, I mean, you could give him some weird special abilities, right? Like, let's see, you have 10, up to 10 points worth of things while he's transformed. I would upgrade the bite even more and make him a bite build character. Like, he's just like gnawing into you. But you don't need to do that. You don't need to give him any more Beast Bloods at all, actually. You can give him a Dance of the Pale Moonlight Bond. This way he transforms a little faster. At least in the beginning until he levels up. Then he gets all the extra features. Oh, that would be wicked. Like, you might waste some points. Right. If you upgrade his bite. Okay, upgrade his bite to the next level to do more damage with the bite. And then give him Water Glide. That's 8 points. But now he gets a limited teleportation when water is involved. So, like, he could run to a well, jump down the well, and then appear within the rest of his movement somewhere else by jumping out of some water. You know, just to add a little bit of, I don't know, something else. Or you could just upgrade his bite 2 times. You know, meaning that once you hit 6th level, you could transform 3 times per long rest. And possibly deal 2d8 damage. That right there. Plus his strength in bite. I mean, which is considerable. You know, but that's if you start investing heavily in your hybrid form. More than just having your Were Shark form as a cool addition, which gives you some really cool things. Oh! I'm sorry about the thing, but I just came up with a thing for the Beast Blood feat. The Beast Blood feat, Physical Powerhouse, Rapid Special. I don't know what it should be called, right? But cost is star, and what do you do, right? Here is the thing. You can purchase any trait ability from the Beast Blood and or the Pet Companion tables for twice the value, right? Should be twice the value or 3 times the value. For twice the value. when doing so, that trait / ability is present on you at all times, not just when you transform. Or no, not the beast blood. Just the companion. From the pet companion tables for twice the value. I don't know if twice is good enough, or should it be 3 times. I don't know what to call it yet. But I think I like that. Because now you can start doing some more custom stuff. Right. Like a human with the beast blood feet. I mean, let's go there. Let's see what's up. Right. Let's go to the companion things again. For twice the value, so for twice the cost. Which is a lot. Like, most of these you will not be able to do. You know, except for maybe Crush. Because Crush will cost 6. You know, but if you wanted to be an ambush predator, right? Have the ability for your skin to change color or texture or blend in with the environment. You could have that available to your character at all times by purchasing it for 10. You know, instead of 5. So that would be your entire thing, but you would get that ability. You know. Tremor sense you could have available at all times by 8. You know, you won't be able to get most things on here. One thing maybe. But I mean, it's still interesting, right? Like a large build. Yeah. You just be large or huge. Maybe 3 times is what I should have. Climbing ability kind of makes sense. Magical flight is already too expensive. That's good. Glides. You'd permanently have wings out. You could do that for lesser. For a lesser fly speed. So that's not so bad. You could permanently have a smashing tail out. Alright. Maybe not. Maybe not. Let me rethink that. I got a little too excited. Let's reel that in. Let's just let's reel that shit in. Because that might be too much, man. It really might. Because that will allow you to circumvent others' racial features, and some feats to an extent that it should. You know, Beast Blood is balanced in the fact that it's temporary. And to make it anything other than temporary, to make it lasting, it requires investment. So yeah, that defeats that defeats that purpose. We'll not do that. So I think I'm pretty much done. Yeah, I'm pretty much done. It sounds like a custom race table if you did that. Yeah, it's similar, and that's not what I want to do with this this game. You know, I've got a game for that actually that I haven't really that I put in the back burners. It's one of the many settings that I have. You know, that's kind of what I want to do with Ashcar. Remember Ashcar? But that's a whole other story. So yeah. I think that's it for me for now. I think I'm going to take this opportunity to run away and feed my face. The Beast Blood feat seems solid enough, balanced enough for now. The Lycanthrope Bond, the Lycanthrope background, the Pale Moonlight Bond, and the Beast Dwarf they all feel awesome right now. I really like how they came out. I really like how they came. Really like the Beast Dwarf. The Beast Dwarf feels. The Beast Dwarf is something that I have been playing around with since 2nd edition. So, there. I feel very amazing about how it is right now. Anyway, before I get into another tangent, I'm going to go. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for spending this time with me, putting up and dealing with my insanity, and helping me to better Saturday morning tabletop RPG. I will come back at a later point in time, do some more work, probably do some artwork. But until that time, peace.